Using the Monkey Paw to farm levels in Phasmophobia has been one of my favorite ways to play recently. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I do it so you can join in the fun and get to whatever level you want before the progression update. Alright, so first off, let's take a look at the settings. So in presets, what you're going to want to do is pick the Apocalypse 3 settings. So you're going to set player speed to 100 and sanity pill restoration to 20. You're going to go with 20 because you're going to take 3 sanity pills. So that way you will know if the ghost is a early hunter or not, a mare, demon, onryo, or Thay. Now for the ghost, you can set the hunt duration to low. So that way it doesn't quite take as long to do. Hiding places, I put on very high because we're going to be using a locker. And then for the cursed item, we're obviously going to pick the Monkey Paw. And that's going to have our settings at about 10.77. For items, you want 1 salt, 4 smudge sticks, 4 sanity pills, and some lighters. First thing you're going to want to do not forget this because it can be important, take 3 sanity pills. Again, that's going to get your sanity up to 60%. To check if it's an early hunting ghost. For our starting items, start with 2 smudges and a lighter. Again, we're not using flashlights, so what you're going to also want to do is turn your brightness all the way up. It's just going to help you see a little bit easier. We're going to walk straight on in, and we're going to go in like the office here to the left. And while you're doing this, you want to listen for interactions, think if it's a teleporting ghost like a banshee, wraith, or phantom. But this room right here is what's going to be the most important. So what I like to do here now, set 1 smudge stick on this chair. Then we're going to go ahead into the chapel to get the Monkey Paw. While you're doing this, you're listening for the front door closing to trigger a hunt, which will signal an early hunting ghost. Optional, but you can choose to pick up this gigantic book as offering for the Monkey Paw. But again, completely optional. Do with it what you want. Grab the Monkey Paw, and we're going to head back to that same chair. Now, if I can ever figure out how these doors work, that would be super helpful. But leave those doors open in case it is a Deogen. It's going to be easy to loop it that way. Now, we're going to go back to this spot. I like to set my items here in this chair so I know where it all is. Now we're leaving. And what you're listening for, again, we did not hear any interactions, leading me not to think it's a teleporting ghost. Now, the ghost could be close. Could be in one of these areas. Chances are slim. Doesn't necessarily mean if you do hear interactions, it is a teleporting ghost. But most of the time, I kind of tend to think that it is. But we can help rule it out. Now that we're back in here, there's 3 things you're going to want. Salt, because we're going to use this to test for a wraith. Camera, because we're going to use that to test for a phantom. And a dots projector to test for Myling, Raiju, and also just using it for some extra light. Because whenever you do wish to see the ghost, it's going to dim your brightness, essentially, or the vision that you can see. So now we're heading on back, and what we're going to want to do is set up, like, I like to set like a little triangle here of salt. I'll set a pile here, and a pile here in the doorway. And this is where we're going to wish to see the ghost at. Now, we can drop that because we're not going to need it. We're going to set our dots projector. I like set it about right here. We're going to open this closet, or this locker, sorry, just so it's ready for me to go in. Leave this open. We're going to want to close this door primarily. There's a couple different things you can do after this. Now, what you're going to want to see is we're going to wish to see the ghost. The ghost is going to spawn here. We're going to take a picture of it, see if we can see it step in salt, and then we're going to run in here. Now, the way I started doing this at first was I would run in here, I would close it, and then I would be about right here, activate my radio, and get the ghost to come to me to test for a yokai. I found that that killed me a lot because the ghost can be kind of hard to see. And also if it was a Deogen, I really didn't get enough time to determine it. So I kind of went away from doing that. That is still an option to rule out a yokai, but I kind of just take my chances because if it is a Deogen or if it's like a Thay or a Revenant, that thing could come to you and kill you. If it is Deogen, you might not hear it in time. And if you do hide and you realize, oh snap, it's slowing down, I can't get out of here, Deogen kills you. I have had that happen. So keep that in mind. But since we have it, what we're going to want to do is set down our photo cam. Now we're going to pick up these 3 items. Yes, thank you. That actually scared me. I was like, I was not expecting that. All right, and if you stand like to about the same side as the chair, I found that to be pretty good. So I wish to see the ghost. Drop it. It stepped in salt, picking it up, just taking a picture of it. Again, I will do that, and I'm just gonna hide. That ghost is slow. I did not have a smudge stick. I was supposed to... Wait, yes I do. There it is. Okay. Should have took it out, but that ghost is really slow. Probably a revenant. That's why I'm losing my mind. That's why it's so slow, because it's a revenant. Okay, so again, we figured out what the ghost was. I'd still want to kind of keep that, but we can now take a picture of the monkey paw of both these, stepping in salt actually. And we got some photos. Now, you can also check for objectives. Skip the ghost during a hunt. That is going to be kind of scary if it is a rev, but let's do it because let me show you. So if you weren't sure what the ghost was or if you wanted that objective, which you could also try to check for, if you wish, so I wish for safety. What that's going to do is actually turn it into a revenant, in that it's going to be able to detect your electronic equipment anywhere on the map. That's what you could also do after the next hunt. And you could also do a smudge test as well. It's up to you. So like, now it's here. Now we can trigger it. So it should be coming towards us. I don't know where it is. This is dangerous because it is a rev. Revs are going to be super fast now. Yes. So that's what you're just trying to look for. So you heard it come really fast towards us. Now we're just safe. And it's slowing back down again. That's what wishing for safety will do. It'll bring the ghost to you. So then you could smudge it and keep a smudge timer second time, or you could do it originally if you knew you were safe and wanted to come out and try to activate it or do it right away for a yokai test. Again, I found I died a lot doing that, and this was more consistent for me. But again, you can change things up with however you want to. And you can test to see it's not hunting anymore. I'm going to grab me an extra one just in case. And let's just say we weren't sure. And if we were not sure what the sound was. Where is the monkey? Here it is. All right, so now let's say we were not really sure what the ghost was at this point. But you can have that sometimes, especially if it's an early hunting ghost and you've ruled out demon and Thay based on how long it took to hunt. And it was down between a mare and an onryo. Here's what you can do. So whenever you're about to leave, or if you felt like you've been here long enough, I wish for knowledge. Then immediately just walk out because your whole game is messed up. Your whole game is messed up. So then at that point, you can check to see what it rules out. Revenant is on there. We're pretty sure it's a Revenant anyway, but you can do this for any ghost, even if you're not sure. But we know it's a Revenant. But here it is, a Revenant. And you kind of see we get really good experience, really good money. And we got 2 objectives. We were able to get 2 objectives with that. Got some extra photos too. Give it the ghost type. $1,377, along with around that same experience. All right, again, to start, you're taking 3 sanity pills. These each give you back 20% sanity. We're at 60, again, to determine an early hunt. 2 smudge sticks and a lighter. This is so if the ghost is early hunter, you do have a chance to get away. Again, all hiding spots are open, which is good. So if you wanted to run into the office, you could. You can still hide behind the piano in the chapel, which I also sometimes recommend if you're trying to find the ghost, because, or look for something like an Oni, because it is more well lit in there. Okay, so we did hear a door interaction near here, which is going to kind of alert me that maybe we're dealing with a Banshee, Wraith, or Phantom. or the ghost is just near here. It touched the locker in there. I'm really thinking this is probably going to end up being a banshee or phantom or wraith. So that was a couple different interactions because, again, the teleporting ghost teleport you and then has a chance of interacting with things. It is scary, though, because there's no grace period for us. So if the ghost hunts, we can be screwed. But we get the Monkey Paw. We do not offer the book this time. I'm going to set everything here so we know where to find it easy. Trust me, I've lost this stuff before. I'm going to pre-prep the locker, and we're going to head on out. And as we head on out, we're listening for things. We do know that the ghost has interacted in here. So either the ghost room is near us, or we're dealing with a teleporting ghost. So you do want to keep that in mind. Knowing that is important. We're headed out. We're getting the salt for the wraith test, photo cam for the phantom test, and the dots so we can test for a Raiju and a Myling. Now, as we head back, we're again going to set up the salt in the doorway. Not heard any more interactions, which is interesting. But we should be able to figure it out. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this, set up our little triangle. We're going to set up our dots projector right over here. Put down our camera right in front of it. Because now we're going to take these three things. I found that if you stand about next to the chair, maybe towards the middle, you should be able to get it to step in the salt. I wish to see the ghost. All right, did that. It stepped in the salt. It's a phantom. So that, again, that's another test. I said I'd come back for a hard one, but that was a good one because it was a teleporting ghost. Because again, we heard those interactions, which meant either the ghost room is near us or it's a teleporting ghost. If it's a teleporting ghost, it's going to be a wraith, phantom, or a banshee. This test would mark out 2 of those, and that's no daily objective. That's no nothing. It's just find the ghost, 1 objective. Holy God, dog, what in the world? Oh, man, that scared me. Okay. That ghost was mad at me. Maybe it's a demon. I don't know, but we're going to see what an early hunting ghost is. The chapel is its ghost room? That's really scary, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't even have time to activate my smudge timer. The best thing to do with that, we know it's not a Thay, so it's either going to be a demon, an Onryo, or a mare. That one was super spooky here. Come on, Ghosty. Come on. So now we're going to use the smudge timer and see exactly how long it takes from there to figure out what the ghost is. Or to figure out how long it'll hunt again. All right. And we're going to close that. I think we'll be safe if we only manage to get a smudge timer on my screen. So makes it a lot easier for me. All right, so if it's a demon, it should hunt us sometime soon. Although, man, being in the chapel, it could be an Onryo, but man, that sounded close. All right, that is going to be a demon there. So even without the ghost photo, still got around $1,100. So still not too bad. That's with no pictures, no nothing. We just figured out the ghost. Would eventually like to get a ghost that I will not figure out in 1 or 2 hunts, just so you can sort of see what it's like to try to narrow it down afterwards. But I'm not going to complain about that. That's pretty good that we are able to get all this. We'll set our stuff down, pick up you, I wish to see the ghost. It did step and saw, and it is not a phantom this time. Yeah, we can hear the footsteps, so it's not a myling. Footsteps do sound normal speed. So I do think I'm finally getting our wish of taking more than one hunt to figure it out. Yeah, and during that hunt, we're not really going to be able to figure out like if it's an Oni or an Obake because our vision is dimmed. So our vision is back normal now. So we do have a smudge timer, and now this is what I was talking about earlier that we can do. We'll take a picture of the monkey paw. We'll take a picture of the salt step. And now we're going to, I wish for safety. Now that's going to allow the ghost to attract to us because I don't think it's going to be a yokai. We were able to sort of figure that out, just not 100%. So that's sort of like what you want to look for here. Now, with this, we did hear a door touch, so it is nearby. But this is when I like to sort of move into the chapel because it is more lit up. So we should be able to see, just like we would in an apocalypse challenge, see if the ghost is an Oni or a shape-shifting Obake. Sort of like get a little bit of a feel for it here. And then if we are unable to find anything or find out anything, we would wish for knowledge after that. So we're looking at the smudge timer. The ghost should be able to hunt about now, unless it is a spirit or a shade, because you have to think our sanity is up there. So I found it takes about 4 minutes or so for us to drop down to about 35% sanity. So if it takes that much longer, then we're probably looking at a shade or a spirit. We would want to hunt again, and it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So tough to say. Come on, ghost. So now we want to take a look at it. Is it going to be an Obake? Is it going to be an Oni? It doesn't look like an Obake or an Oni. But again, you have to be kind of lucky with the Obake shape-shifting. And you want to be thinking about for other things. Right now, the ghost can still kill us, but we know it's not a spirit. Not a Polty because I haven't heard it throw a lot. Not a mare or a demon because it didn't early hunt. Not a yokai. Because the ghost was attracted to us with the electronics. Not a myling because we could hear it. Not a Raiju because it did go pretty fast. Moroi, it sounds normal ghost speed. It'll be slightly... should be slightly faster now. Not a Wraith because it stepped in salt. Not a Banshee because I don't think it teleported. Not a Revenant because of the footsteps. Yurei could be an option. Not a Hantu or it would be super fast. Not an Onryo or it would have hunted early. Bake shapeshifting, always a possibility, but we're going to mark it out. And rule out a Diogen, obviously. They, ruling out. Twins sounds normal. Not an Oni. Not a Shade. Not a Phantom. And that's sort of the way that I will look at it. So now we're going to leave and just take a guess. And it's kind of up to you on what you wanted after it. I wish for knowledge. Should be able to help us out. Jin, Yurei, or a Goryo. I'm going to go Jin because Jins are super annoying in this because they're literally impossible to identify. Goryos, I mean, really, Jin, Yurei, Goryo are all almost impossible to identify. What was it, Goryo? So at least we knew that we were thinking about the right things. And if you want to see more games of this, you can click or tap the screen now as I'll have a couple hours worth of games to go through. Thanks so much for watching. Happy farming, happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.